everything.
Back in beta.hacksaw.academy. If you're looking for project-based tutorials, this is definitely the place to go. Go ahead and give them a shot. They have a free 2-week trial, or you can try it out for 2 weeks and cancel if you don't want to enjoy it. We're going to be continuing on with working with an API. We're on displaying the data. So last time we kind of went over what was an API and what we could do with it. This time we're actually going to be talking about the how to get data out of the API, it looks like. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So we're going to be displaying the data in the table element, but to start we're going to remove the div right here. Let's see here. There's a div id/temporary. So we're going to go ahead and remove this. And we're going to jump into our JavaScript, and we're going to go ahead and remove this JSON.stringify. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit from our code. Just go ahead and move on here. So we're going to add this table here. It looks like they want us to add our, if you're not familiar with like how tables run down, you have the table tag, which basically denotes that this is where the table is going to be. Then you have the table head, which is kind of like where you would put the top columns, like maybe it'll say name, address, city, or something like that. Alright, in this case, then you have the table row, which instantiates a row in a table, and then we have these table headers, which are basically same things as table data, except they're for the table head. That's all we're doing here. And we're throwing an ID on here to connect it to an ID that's called API table. So let's go ahead and jump into our HTML. And where did they want us to put this? Add the following after the first pagination area div. So I believe this is the first one. Should go right there. So we have a table here, and you see our table heads. We haven't actually done anything with them, but they have our the name of them in there right now. Now we're going to go ahead and display some data in there. So you can see some example right here. Then let's go ahead and add the table body. Table body will typically be where all your table data goes. This is basically where all our info is going to go. So you have the table head, which are like the column names. You have the table body, which is where your data goes. And then you have the table footer sometimes where maybe you want to add up things or do something like that. So go ahead and jump into here. So outside our table head, but within our table, we're going to go ahead and put in our table body. And you see we have some test data. We can see how everything's looking right now. So what we want to do here is we want to actually use this callback function. Now they're doing a little bit of an interesting thing here. I feel like they might be making this more complicated than needed since we're using jQuery, but let me try and explain what's going on here. We're using the append to, which essentially appends is a jQuery function that's going to append the data that we're getting from our response. Our response is a JSON. Now you'll see right now when we go ahead and let's just copy this whole thing. What we're doing here, we're saying, look, our variable tr is equal to, and then we're appending a bunch of data. We're appending object.id. This is coming from the JSON. Object.name, also coming from the JSON. Object.address, JSON. Object.created. And we're just iterating through our array, our JSON object that, by the sounds of it, has an array in there. And then we're just going to be outputting and appending all of that. So let's go ahead and jump down, and this is probably going right back here in this callback function. Let's see here. Update your data callback function. So what we need, I want to make sure I don't grab what we don't need here. There is that. And I believe, you know what? Let's just go ahead and take it all like so. That'd probably be the easiest to skip making any errors. And you'll see right now, we're getting all this data that's populating from our JSON. we have these two hard-coded in here, so that's going to be it. Obviously, it's messing up our IDs and all that sort of stuff. But you can see we're getting our dates, our addresses, the whole thing by appending this to the data. A lot of stuff was going on here. They didn't do too great of a job explaining the JSON, so let me see if I can explain what's going on here. We're running a for each on a function that's we're running a for each on the object array. So the JSONs are turning an array of data and objects with an array of data in it, and what we're doing is we're taking the for each and we're iterating through every single item in that array, and for every item we are then going to append this data for each one. So this is, let's say, index 1, so we're taking index1.id, index1.name, index1.address, index1.created, and we're storing it in this variable. At that point, we're then going to append it to the table that we have here, and we're going to then move on to doing it for index 2 as well. And then right here, we're simply calling this getData function that's going to output it. So I hope this helped explain and kind of showcase how you can use APIs really when you need to output data like this for, you know, repetitive purposes like tables, which is really why you use them. But as always, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and support me on Patreon. And thank you to those of you who do. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to our sponsor, Hacksaw Academy. If you're looking for project-based coding tutorials, make sure to check them out in the cards, annotations, and description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. And as always, I'll see you next time.